All right, everyone, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree, and for today's video, we're not doing that. That's coming. But we are going to go over Vegito Blue's top teams. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to the channel for more content, as well as clicking that like button so you guys don't miss anything we upload here on the channel. Like button? Notification button, excuse me. All right, today's video like goal is going to be 900. So if you guys didn't see, I did one of these for Trunks recently. We talked about the best future team in that video. So I have been doing these for the anniversary. Hit or miss reception. If you guys enjoy these, it's really important you support them by, you know, doing things, leaving comments, etc. Because otherwise I'll just stop doing it. But in those other ones, I kind of did them in a different fashion. So I'm gonna leave this one up to you guys. If you guys like the old style, let me know. What I was doing was I was going through each team that the character had, and well, the most notable ones, I guess, and I was going through color by color, best character, second best character, third best character, etc. I am going to just kind of leave that up to you for the most part, but I'm going to show you some examples of teams the character will be on that you guys will be seeing. Now, for the record, you are going to see a lot of stuff. You're going to see purple-red teams. You're going to see teams with this, like with purple-red with him, with Pan in the leader slot, some other just nonsense. You're going to see a lot of stuff. You're going to see Zenkai buff. You're going to see mono-red. You're going to see Universe Warriors, Universe Survival, excuse me, with him on the team. You're going to see Fusion Warriors. You're going to see God Key. You're going to see Future. You're going to see all these teams. So many teams. And that's kind of the beauty of the game and the leader skill and all that stuff, that you can make these determinations for yourself, what you want to see and what you want to do. So let's start off with the aforementioned purple-red team. This is going to be a team that I think is going to be super duper strong, and we're going to go ahead and plug it in really quick. So after I built it out, I kind of realized I could skew a little bit more in this direction. So the most important thing was the top row. I mentioned like Pan and stuff like that, and you can run Pan or other variations like that if you want to. Just, you know, keep in mind you may be sacrificing some Z abilities or Zenkai abilities, etc. So what this team really is trying to do at the top row is Frieza is going to be powering up the team overall. Also, Goku and Frieza, I believe, also have some more support stuff there too. But you will also pick up more blues from having this Frieza, meaning more Vegito just powerhouse hits, because he does have it here. And ultimately, this Frieza is still a solid utility character. You've probably seen him a lot recently in a lot of different team compositions, most notably with him, Pan, and Goku and Frieza, because they are just insane. But we're swapping Pan for Vegito because just better character, obviously. So the bottom row, again, completely interchangeable to your preference. You can run some Zenkai buffers. You can run other characters like that. If you don't have one of the top three, you can run the next best blue or purple or red character that you don't. Well, I mean, if you don't have Vegito Blue, the whole point of the video is Vegito Blue. But I guess Pan, right? But anyway, the bottom row is giving 50% to stat increases, so that's also going to make us hit like a freaking truck with all of these strike extra damage that we're getting here. So keep that in mind. I do like Majin Buu in the last spot for the tankiness. You don't have to run that. You can run a Zenkai buff for over Majin Buu, but run the other two if you have them fully limit broken to 14-star, etc. You can make that work. So that is an example of a purple blue, really, but purple blue red team, mainly purple red. You could run Zenkai buffers, you could run mono purple with red Vegito in the leader, some variation like that. Here's an example of a cookie cutter team with Vegito on it, because that's what's going to happen a lot. The top row is going to be really, really powerful. Jiren, you can probably just omit from this team, but I threw him on as an honorable mention. The problem with Jiren is that he is not going to, I mean, if you're versus Goku and Frieza, you know, purple characters, it can work, but it's going to be kind of hard to use him with Vegito in every match. But Kiawe, free 30% support, I believe, does apply to the entire team on her green card. Yeah, ally health and 30% for Vegito. Yes, please, we want that. You can also, again, in the bottom rows, do more Zenkai buffing, things like that. You can fill it out with other universe survival characters. And if you notice, what I've done for these first couple of teams is I've just paired two of the best three characters in the game. I think Goku and Frieza are top three right now, maybe top four with Vegito sliding in. Anyway, pair two of the best characters and just made it really, really efficient and easy. If you don't have Goku and Frieza, honestly, you probably are better off just not even running this team. You can maybe make do with having Kiawe and somebody else like MVP 17. I think that could work, but at that point, maybe you just run Future, run Kiawe in the leader slot, and use Zamasu instead of 17. I think Zamasu isn't as good, but you may have a little bit more synergy. Up to you, right? So overall, pretty solid. Let's go ahead and move over to Future next. I actually thought of Zamasu, but didn't think of Trunks. Trunks is just better. Yeah, use Trunks if you use Future. By the way, Green Goku Black is a placeholder for the Ultra because I don't have the Ultra, but the Ultra is automatically one of the best characters here, so you would run him on your team if you have him. If you don't have Ultra, I don't think that there's, just at the top of my head, another green you should consider using. You might just move on from that color altogether unless you put a green in this team from the leader slot, like Kiawe, like I was mentioning a second ago. Trunks, insane character, really, really strong. Gonna pop really well with this setup, though. Also, Trunks, I believe it's okay if you just use Vegito with the restrictions that they added or removed from his kit. He just needs one ally, right, that fits the criteria. I'm not gonna go over it because there's a lot, but should work out pretty well. Also, Trunks having the endurance, if that is the case, will help a ton, having him on your team, even though Vegito can potentially, you know, if you're in a mirror, could potentially hit through that with neutrality or just endurance nullification on the rush, blah, blah, blah. But still really solid character to have overall. So if you don't have Trunks, then again, you would import Zamasu. Shout out to some of the other older characters. I'm really just veering away from Yellow, not because they're bad, but I'm wary. Vegito is in every match. But really, in all honesty, this guy could be useful too if you really wanted to plug him in as another, again, utility option. Also has some solid last man standing stuff, some support stuff in his kit too. Like, he's still a really just solid character, one of the best aged characters in the game. I'll also plug you in because I think he could be really good too. I'm not too worried about a lot of characters today, but his ability to go neutral on the green card, very useful too. But that's more or less what we're looking at. And then for the last couple of slots, just like every other team, you're probably plugging in a Zenkai ability or two for one of your top characters like Vegito. I also personally haven't mentioned it yet, but I personally really, really like having health on the team just for a little bit of extra survivability, especially if you choose to run like Zamasu or more tanky variants of the Future team, excuse me. Speaking of, again, let's go ahead and move over to Fusion Warrior. This team is really, really easy to put together. I'm not even going to do a cut because it's really simple. Look at this. Really, really simple. We're going to grab those two. I think I would grab him just because I like him too. And for the top row, we're going to do that. Notice I left a spot open because this is where things get kind of fun. I think you can make an argument that you just slide Goku and Frieza on every damn team, by the way, including the Future team, and use them alongside Rose and Vegito. So that would be ideal, the optimal third character here. In terms of just pure Fusion Warrior, I don't really think that there's a literal optimal character here. I think that there's benefits and downsides to a number of characters, but for the intents and purposes of the video, I'm going to plug him there. I think that he could still be successful, could still work pretty well, still has some stuff in his kit that has aged tremendously well, but really on this team, it's going to be Vegito Blue hard carrying both of the characters on the top row, including Gogeta, literally. But Gogeta and the other Gogeta will be able to do their own work, carry their own load sometimes, etc. You have a lot of synergy for the Z abilities, very powerful Z abilities. You have Zenkai buff on the teams too for a couple of characters. I think this team has some of the best synergy for Vegito overall, but again, we're not really taking full effect of the leader slot, and we went out of our way not to put one of our best characters on this team. Speaking of the leader slot, I want to throw in an honorable mention to a couple of other characters. I think that you guys, if you're looking to put another character on your team, that I think you guys could be successful plugging in. Again, like I mentioned, Goku and Frieza, probably the best leader slot character to put in the game, unless you're going to use somebody like Rose, but Rose shares like, what, 2 to 3 teams with Vegito, so you don't really have to put him in the leader slot. Also, the downside to putting somebody else in the leader slot other than Vegito is you may be sacrificing just a little bit of his ultra ability, or potentially all of it depending on your full team. But other characters that are really solid and that would plug there well would be a character like Pan, like I mentioned earlier, a solid utility or support character like her, or a character like Ultra Kid Buu, who I'm not really going to go back to, but he could be a character you plug in that leader slot too. So let's move over from here. We've covered fusions, we've covered Future Warrior, we have covered some fun stuff like Universe Survival and Purple Red. I believe there's probably one more team that we're going to cover. I almost blanked on it and was like, no, I don't think there is actually. It's God Key. So God Key is the last team we are covering for today's video. So God Key is actually also really easy to put together. It's triple ultra. It's him and Ultra U and Ultra Rose. That's God Key. right? And then from there, the bottom row is Zenkai ability buffers like you. You have green God Key, correct? Or even if it's green future, yeah, I was gonna say, even if it's green future, that still would meet the criteria for Rose. And again, Rose, this is just, assume that's Rose. We're getting the Zenkai ability buff there. We are gonna plug in another one for the other two characters too. Actually, there's not a God Key red Zenkai ability buffer because this guy does, what, powerful opponent or something? Yeah, it's not red for Vegito. So you're not really going to do that. You could go grab somebody else. I don't know, just a number of characters like Red Goku, Future Trunks, the Trunks in Mai should do it. Like, you could grab a few other characters and plug them in for a Zenkai ability. If you want that for Vegito, you can do this. And then last but not least, plug in a Zenkai ability buffer for Ultra Gogeta and call it a day, right? Now, that's a very cookie cutter version of this team. That's very, very simple, very easy to understand, very easy to use. I think that there are going to be some variants of this team that include some other characters like these. I don't know if you'll run them together, but there is some interesting utility with these characters and things that they can potentially do with the green card being put in your deck with Whis and Whis' support and some of the things he can do utility-wise. And then speaking of utility, EX Whis is one of the more, Vados is one of the more underrated characters in the game right now. She has another seal mechanic on the rush, which again could be pretty detrimental when you have that and Vegito Blue doing it too. So I think that's a video I'm going to do as well. So I think you'll see some fun compositions like that. And if you want to go hyper defensive, with also obviously having offense, and if you're missing a character like Rose, this guy could be a solid contributor to your team with the revival effect as well. I've gone through this video really quickly, so I'm sure I have omitted some options, but I wanted to push through this one quicker than usual. I'm about half the time of my normal ones. And I want to throw an honorable mention to some blast-based characters like this guy that will be really, really solid. He's really damn good. He doesn't really only need blast. He's just ranged. So, well, to be fair, so is the green one, right? He's ranged too. So yeah, you can kind of build a team like this and call it a day. If you don't have those ultra characters. And honestly, I think you can make a case that you use UI over Gogeta in some situations. So just depending on what you're encountering, that may be better for you, or depending what you like, what you use, what you have, etc. Also, Dark Horse if you want to run him. So that is all the teams I wanted to show for today's video. Inevitably, I missed some. There are going to be more team variations. I didn't want to do like a Saiyan team, things like that, because I feel like you're just better off running some of these other teams. But if you guys found this video helpful, you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because again, remember, if it doesn't get support, I'm just not going to do it, because I've done these videos for years and then stop and then do them, but it is what it is. So alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.